Hey guys, it's Chris back again with another top 10 recommendation video. And today we're going to be doing one of my favorite video game genres, and that is stealth games. A genre that doesn't really exist in its pure form these days. Sure, there's, horror games with stealth elements, there's open world games with stealth elements, military shooters that let you stealth. But there's not really games that go full stealth required. So I'm going to show you my favorites in the genre. Let's get it started. I guess first up we'll go with this game. No particular order once again. And remember, this is based off my collection and my own personal tastes. So let's get it started. First one is Manhunt 1. This is the Xbox version. This is really great. You would think it was nothing too special, but really it's one of the best stealth games ever made in my opinion. It's got very good kills, a good variety of stealth kills. It's got the 3-tier stealth kills. It's got light and shadow play. And it also uses sound, which a lot of the stealth games don't take into account, like the footsteps. But yeah, this has it all. The atmosphere is really good. The story is pretty creepy. It's like a convict that's locked up in this, game of killing people for a director. And it's got a lot of horror elements to it as well, especially the last level, which has an almost like Leatherface-like antagonist. But yeah, this Xbox version is pretty cool because you can play it on the Series X in 4K now. It's one reason I ended up picking up this version as well, even though I had it on PS2 originally. But yeah, I would highly recommend this, and there's no way Rockstar would ever make another Manhunt because they are soy boys now. Alright, next up, we'll go with this game. Now, this game, maybe not the one I'm going to hold up, but the first two games in the series. But since I do not own a physical copy of the first two games, I only have them digital, I'll also have to show you this one. It's Thief Deadly Shadows on Xbox, which is very good, but Thief 1 and 2 are definitely the better of the games. I don't know which one I would pick. Honestly, to me, Thief 1 and 2 feel like the same game, but Thief 2 is a little bit more fleshed out. But yeah, this series started it all with shadow and sound stealth gameplay, which is very cool. This one is very good as well. It's just, it launched kind of glitchy, so you really have to play the PC version of this with some fan-made patches to get it up to shape. But yeah, the new Thief on, what was it, PS4 and Xbox One, that one wasn't that great, and they tried to reboot the story. This one had the best universe, well, at least these first 3 games. This is being the final game. But yeah, I highly recommend the Thief series. It's very good. Alright, next up, I guess we'll go with a classic. Wait, not that one. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Alright, a classic. And then once I hold it up, you're going to be mad. But I don't care. This is my favorite version of Metal Gear Solid 1, the Twin Snakes on GameCube. Yes, I know people didn't like the over-the-top cutscenes, but this one has the most superior gameplay. Metal Gear Solid 1 on PS1 didn't age very well, gameplay-wise. I do think there's aspects of the voice acting in the PS1 version that's superior to this one, but overall this is the better version, and you can fight me over it. So alright, next up I guess we'll do another well-known series, and that is Splinter Cell, but this is Chaos Theory on the original Xbox. I love this fake kind of steelbook case. It's not a real steelbook, but back then they used, and then there goes a disc. Wonderful. But they used, I don't know what these are called, but later on steelbook kind of did this design as well. You can see a pretty cool spine as well. But yeah, this one kind of this whole series kind of does what the Thief games did, and that is use light and shadow and also sound for the stealth mechanics. But to me, Chaos Theory really brought everything together from the older Splinter Cell games and improved on it. This gives you more choice with the levels. It's not so linear. You can do more open-ended stealth gameplay. Whereas the original games, it was kind of like one path to go through all the levels and one or two ways really to beat them. But yeah, this one does let you go full assault, which can be fun. But if you play on hard, you're gonna have to, use some stealth because they don't give you much ammo. But yeah, this is one of the best Splinter Cell games for sure. I would highly recommend this one. Alright, next up we'll do... this is probably... Well, yeah, I think this one came out before Metal Gear Solid 1. And apart from Thief, this was my first stealth game, and that is Tenchu Stealth Assassins on PS1. Yes, this is the original Tenchu. And I believe I rented this back in the day. I loved it so much, I eventually had to get a copy. But, technically Tenchu 2 is more fleshed out than this one, but there's a certain feel about this game that I really liked. The music is really good. The graphics, they're not very good now, but I enjoyed the style of it with the low polygons and the ridiculous amount of blood that would spray out of the enemies when you kill them. Also, this one had, it had both dismemberment and decapitations, which was pretty brutal. Granted, the later games had more stealth kill animations overall than this one, but to me, you just can't really beat the atmosphere of the first Tenchu. I love this game still. Alright, next up, we'll do this game. And this one is very Thief-like as well, but sci-fi, and I think you might know what that is. It's Chronicles of Riddick. This is the Assault on Dark Athena version. This is a improved version of the Xbox original with an extra campaign on top. And I think this is delisted on digital stores now, so you have to get a physical copy or pirate it on PC to be able to play it. So I'm really glad I got this. Obviously, it's based off the Chronicles of Riddick and Pitch Black movies. Vin Diesel helped with the production, I believe. I don't know, he probably just did conceptual stuff, but Starbreeze Studios made this one. They're a great developer, but sadly that studio went really anti-white when they made the Wolfenstein games. But their old games like The Darkness and this are really good. They're total classics, and I will forever cherish this one. It focuses a lot on melee combat more than gunplay. There is sections with gunplay, but the actual stealth is really good because it has those dynamic like stencil shadows similar to Doom 3. Has really good graphics for the time too, especially on the Xbox original. It was very impressive. On this, it looks very good as well, but on Xbox, it was pushing like Doom 3 quality of visuals before the Doom 3 port on Xbox came out, so that was very cool. The story is neat. I think the Assault on Dark Athena campaign isn't as good, but, overall it's a pretty good package. I would highly recommend this one. Alright, I guess we'll go with this one. So this one, I wish we had the first game in the series, but unfortunately this is all we got in the US, and that is Shinobi-Do 2 on the PlayStation Vita. Now, the original game was on PS2, and I do have the PSP version of Shinobi-Do, which is kind of dumbed down compared to the PS2 game, but this Shinobi-Do 2 on Vita really perfected the formula. It had really good graphics for a launch Vita game. Granted, it's kind of based on a PS2 engine, but they really gave it higher res textures in this. I really wish this would get some sort of modern port because while you can play it on the Vita TV, it doesn't look that good blown up. But this is basically the people who made the Tenchu series and Way of the Samurai. And this is like Tenchu with RPG elements. It has kind of like a, what do you say, like a loyalty system where you can work for different clans in the world, which is cool. It can get confusing though. It's one of those games with a lot of just like complex gameplay systems in the background, and you really have to kind of look up guides to know how to play it properly. But the way you can do the movement in the game is so much more fluid than Tenchu. You can sprint and then like toss a grappling hook to get up to a building without aiming it. You can run on walls, which you couldn't do in Tenchu, stuff like that. The only thing I don't like compared to Tenchu is there's only like one or two stealth. No, there's like 3 stealth kills total. I think there's a normal stealth kill, I think a crouching one, and then a drop stealth kill. Whereas like the later Tenchus would have 6 or 8 stealth kills per character. But it's very cool. I would recommend this. It might be hard to buy now. I don't know if it's expensive yet, but you could try playing it on emulator, I guess. Alright, next up, I guess we'll do this one. And it is another Metal Gear Solid game. And this is probably my favorite Metal Gear Solid game ever. That's Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence version. This is the limited edition. But to me, this perfected the Metal Gear Solid formula. It still has the old school Metal Gear style of gameplay, you know, not newer like MGS4, Peace Walker, and 5 had. This is the best of the old school Metal Gear Solid gameplay. And to me, this had the best story as well. It had the best pacing, like way better pacing than Metal Gear Solid 2. I liked the world. I liked where it took place, you know, during the Cold War. That was cool. You know, it had kind of the James Bond 007 vibes to it. And the jungle was very neat to explore. They were trying, you know, I'm sure Kojima saw something like Far Cry and other games that started to have, you know, the jungle type setting. So he wanted to do it as well. But he did it, well, I should say Kojima's team did it really well because Kojima gets way too much credit. I think he's kind of a hack, and it's really the rest of his team at this time that really made the magic and reined in his bad ideas. But yeah, very good game, my favorite in the series. I will probably check out Metal Gear Solid Delta. I don't know if I'll pay full price for it at launch, because at least Metal Gear Solid Delta looks like it's unchanged mostly from this one, other than better graphics. Whereas that Silent Hill 2 remake is just looking like a bastardization of the original Silent Hill 2. So, but yeah, really great game. Alright, we'll do one more of another series I just showed, and that is Splinter Cell, and this is Blacklist. You might be surprised I didn't pick, you know, Splinter Cell 1 or something. Double Agent is very good as well. This was tied with the Xbox original Double Agent, since that one is so much like Chaos Theory. But this, honestly, this has the best gameplay in the series. It sucks, yes, I know Michael Ironside isn't the voice anymore, and they're kind of like stretching it as far as like how old Sam Fisher is getting, and he just seems to be looking younger and younger in like this game. But this one, it really just, it had the best stealth mechanics. You know, you had climbing options on everything pretty much. You could take missions in different orders and customize your gear a lot more, which I really liked. But oh yeah, this had co-op, which was really fun as well. It was super difficult though, because your other teammate really had to be good at stealth as well, or he'd fuck up the whole mission for you, which is kind of the point. But yeah, I have this. It's probably best to play this on PC. This Xbox 360 version is kind of dumbed down graphically, but I wanted to have a physical copy as well on top of my PC version. But yeah, I'm not sure if they shut down the servers on PC for the co-op. I think they did, so sadly, you either can't play the co-op or you have to find some sort of fan-made patch, I assume. But yeah, I highly recommend this one. I mean, I think this might have better gameplay than Chaos Theory. I think I like the overall structure, story of Chaos Theory more, and the fact it has Michael Ironside, but it's hard to argue that this one doesn't have the best mechanics of the series. Alright, my final game, and that is yet another Tenchu game, and of course it's the third Tenchu game, and this specifically is the Xbox port, which adds a lot of extras over the PS2 version. This really took, the formula of Tenchu 1 and it made the graphics way better. It tightened up like the controls and the gameplay. Tenchu 1 is very innovative, but it was very clunky. It had tank controls and stuff like that. This one brought it into the PS2 generation with, full analog controls. You didn't have the wall of fog like 10 feet, or it was more like the wall of fog was maybe like 20 feet out in the original game, whereas this, you can see the entire map at once, which is awesome. But yeah, this added, I want to say this added an extra character and I think 2 new stages. You could also play this one online co-op. I think the PS2 version had co-op as well, but it was local only, like split screen. This has the split screen also, and that's cool way that the game is preserved now. I wish a lot of games with multiplayer components had split screen or system link as well, so they still function today. But yeah, this is definitely the most refined in the series. Tenchu Z is pretty cool as well, but the story in that one is like non-existent. You do find getting the PS2 version of this as well, which is called, I believe, Wrath of Heaven. I used to have the PS2 version and sold it to get this one, but I wish I would have kept it on PS2 as well. I shouldn't have sold it, just because I like having all versions of my favorite games just so I can compare the ports. But yeah, highly recommend this. They need to port all these games to modern platforms, seriously. Same with like the Thief series, Thief 1 through 3. I would love for Night Dive to do a port of that with a physical copy, and do this series as well. We really need it. And Shinobido 1. I still want that to come to the West in some form. But yeah, that is my top 10 recommendations of stealth games. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.